And now for another edition of Tea Time with Dr. Whimsy.
Hello, my fellow broke aristocrats. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. And it is our way on Wednesdays. We get together and we have a cup of tea and we talk about living the good life without breaking the bank. So today's tea, first off, is PG Tips Decaf. I switched to PG Tips Decaf because the regular PG Tips was giving me insomnia. And one of the habits we teach here at Broke Aristocrats for optimal health is optimal sleep. Believe it or not, having a good sleep quality is one of the most important things you can do to improve your health. So if you're consuming something like a caffeinated drink that's having a negative impact on your sleep, you might want to switch to a decaf. This was that my tea times were having an impact on my sleep. So PG Tips Decaf. So that is our tea. I'm going to go ahead and have a sip. So cheers. And as you can see, I've already worked my way through it. I'm pretty much done with this cup of tea. But today we are talking about one of the most important aspects of staying healthy. And that is, first and foremost, we talked about identifying the cause of the problem. This is the first thing that doctors do. You come to see the doctor, you say, "The doctor, I don't feel well." It's the job of the doctor to first identify what the cause is. Why is the person not feeling well? So we do an intake, we might do a physical exam, we might do some labs, we might do some imaging. We're trying to find the cause. The second thing we learn about medicine is that we want to remove the cause. If something is making you sick, we want to find out what it is. Before we go and we prescribe a pharmaceutical or an herb or anything else, we want to first find out, is there anything that you can do that can make you feel better simply by reducing or eliminating that thing. So that's what we're talking about today. It's definitely cost effective, right? It's not going to cost you any money, and it often gets to the heart of the problem. If we know what's causing the problem and we remove it, then, by default, we're going to be feeling better. So first and foremost, I always talk about this, is to get an account in a reckoning book or get a diary journal, call it what you will, and begin writing about what your challenges are, whether it's health challenges, financial challenges. What is the problem? What are the things that are causing you stress, unhappiness, and ill health? It's important first to name it. It's important first to claim it. So number one, we find the cause of the unhappiness. The cause could be a job that's making you unhappy. It could be something else, but really first naming it, claiming it. That is the first thing. And secondly, we want to remove the cause. So what are some of the causes? We've talked about this in the past. Sometimes the elephant in the room can be something as obvious as an addiction. One of the leading causes of death that's associated with addiction in this country is cigarette smoking. Cigarette smoking is expensive and it leads to ill health. So if you think it's costing a lot right now to buy those cigarettes, it's going to be a lot more expensive when your health when there's a health consequence down the road. So cigarette smoking, chronic alcohol abuse and use definitely would be on the list. Recreational drug use. Those are all things that could be the cause of the underlying problem. They're the obvious cause, and we have to address the obvious causes and certainly talk about sobriety. Next on the list would be a poor diet. If you're not feeling right, if you're feeling chronically depressed, if you're overweight, if you're not happy with how you feel and how you look, it could be as simple as your refrigerator. It could be as simple as the food that you are putting in your mouth. I'm not saying a person has to spend $1 million on high quality food, but simple fruits, vegetables, including them daily in your diet, removing processed foods, oily foods, salty foods, foods that are overly processed. If you're sticking it in a microwave, if it's got loads of chemicals that you can't pronounce, it's probably not a good idea to be putting it in your diet. So again, removing the things that are making us sick: drugs, alcohol, and poor food. Poor sleep definitely is one of the things that we associate with ill health. If you're only getting 3-4 hours of sleep a night, your brain's not going to work right. Chronically, you become chronically depressed simply because you're not sleeping enough. The immune system can be compromised if we are not sleeping. Just like me switching over to the decaf tea because I take my sleep seriously. I want to get a good solid 8 hours. I can't function well at my job. I learned that when I was in medical school. I cannot function well at my job. I won't be able to think. I won't be able to learn if I can't get a good night's sleep. Stressful work environment was also something I put on the list. If you're going into a hostile work environment, if you don't think that you can resolve the situation, if you feel there's no way to resolve a stressful work environment, you may have to come to the difficult decision that it's time to look for another a work situation. Sometimes we can work it out. Sometimes the conflict is our own making. You know, sometimes we create conflicts and we have to go and try and resolve them as best we can. So that's definitely something I put on my list. Toxic relationships was something I also put on the list. If you're around people that are literally causing you anxiety and stress, again, if you find no way to resolve the stress, if you don't feel there's any way to work out the conflicts that you're having with this individual, you may unfortunately have to walk away from that relationship. That can be very, very difficult. The last one, of course, is one we always talk about here at Broke Aristocrats. If you're stressed out about finances, if you don't know how much money is coming in and how much is going out, that can be a source of stress. If you don't have a retirement savings set up, if you are looking at your finances and saying, oh my God, I can't get ahead, getting on a budget, doing some kind of a program that helps you get control over your finances, living below your means can dramatically reduce stress. And when we see a reduction in stress, we see our health improved. So that was just a quick list of some of the things that I was thinking about in terms of removing the cause. And I've certainly had to make some adjustments in my own life. I certainly have found that by living simply, frugally, humbly, but not trying to keep up with the Joneses, by living financially below my means, getting a good night's sleep, trying to eat the healthiest food I can on my current budget, those things improve my health, and they do so in a way that isn't particularly difficult, not particularly complicated, and doesn't necessarily cost much money. All right, I want to thank you for watching this quick video on Broke Aristocrats on removing the cause and how it can improve your health on a budget. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and tell me what you are doing to take care of yourself without breaking the bank. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.